This show really, really wants us to like Gina Lash for God knows what reason. As you know, I can't stand this character because she's such a one-dimensional stereotype, but she's not pleasant. She's supposed to be Angela's best friend. They say that too many times, I don't really know why, but they don't show it. She has sold out Angela to Nanette. She steals her food. And yet, we're supposed to believe she's Angela's best friend, that Gordy Reinhardt loves her. What inverse Mary Sue bullshit is this? And the thing is, Gina Lash actually can be a good character. She just needs more than either food jokes or being a terrible friend. She has her moments here and there, but I never got what we're supposed to like about her. They say it, but they don't do it. Ugh. This episode's Everybody Loves Gina. Except me.
It is the weekend, but this weekend is not just any weekend. On account of my best friend, Gina Lash will be spending the whole weekend at my house, while her mom, Mrs. Lash, is on a business trip to Acapulco. Hello? Are you all packed and ready to go?
Just about, but my mom's still packing.
Gina, honey, have you seen my vanilla massage oil?
That was massage oil? I've been putting it in my lattes.
I know it was 100% natural, but next time, honey, anything in my cosmetic bag, off limits.
Hurry up and get
Jesus.
Gina Lash. On account of I have some fun weekend plans planned for us this weekend. Playing Bloody Mary, pillow fights, prank calling Mrs. Frank.
Wrap it up, Gina. Francisco's here.
Francisco?
He's my, business associate. We'll drop you off at Angela's on our way to the airport.
Kate!
We'll be there in 10 minutes.
Weather and traffic permitting.
So when's your smarty pants friend getting here? Huh? Hello?
I know she's supposed to be the
Lash,
smart one,
Angela's
but
smarty pants friend? Who's smarter? You or your pants? You think your
Not
pants
funny.
can do my homework while they're here?
Hey, give me that.
What's that, smarty pants? You want to talk to Angie Pants? Here
to be
you
fair,
go.
that is something an obnoxious older brother would do.
You get it. Hire Angie.
Maybe having Gina Lash stay at my house is an idea that isn't such a good idea.
Yeah, maybe she could be Mark and Derek's punching bag. That sounds nice. Wow! It's been a while since I've seen a cannibalism joke.
Angela, this is my business associate, Francisco.
Oh, mucho beauty in poquito space. Ay, caramba. Francesco needs...
Stereotype, stereotype, stereotype.
Remember, don't discuss religion or politics unless they bring it up first. Then the door's wide open. No one proposition puppy, Gina. We'll ban lab testing on puppies once and for all. I made you a little care package. Don't
That's really
forget to
funny.
Share it. Except the empanadas. They're made with real meat. I'll see you Sunday, sweetheart.
Yeah, Gina, share your fucking
I
food.
don't want to miss our flight to Paradiso.
He's so punctual.
Ay, caramba.
I like her better with Coach Reinhardt.
Gina Lash alone this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
But good for her, honestly.
Come on, Gina Lash. Let's go open your secret.
Actually,
care
what business
package
is she in?
In my room with the door
Is she a
locked.
massage therapist?
Mom said to share it with everyone, except the empanada, so don't even think about it. Here, you can play with this.
Hey, a Cincy Big Toaster. Let's go melt something. Yeah.
Mom just bought these pillows on clearance cheap. I think we can beat each other senseless with them.
Yes,
Baby
that is
Lulu,
good.
No, this is my room, and there's no room for you in it. Hush, little man.
I love how Baby Lulu never sounds like a real baby.
Mama's gonna
It cracks me
give
up.
you a big fat bird. If that big fat bird won't fly, Mama's gonna give you a kidney pie.
Let me try. Ooh.
Baby Lulu's a sadist, I'm convinced. Or at least a troll.
We're just going to make a few phone calls. So nobody bother us on account of we will be on the phone.
The days before caller
This
ID.
is impossible.
What's impossible?
Stay away from them, Gina Lash. Just because you can make Baby Lulu stop crying doesn't mean you can make Mark and Derek stop being Mark and Derek. They'll end up eating you alive while you're still living.
Cannibalism! Two cannibalism
Kick
jokes!
the ball through the goals.
May I? Your problem here is that you've got the wrong shape. Traditional desktop football is played with a triangular piece of paper for aerodynamic reasons. There.
That feels like more Gordy Reinhardt's specialty.
You rock, Gina Lash.
Maybe she was paying attention after all.
How'd you do that?
Okay, maybe she's not so useless after all.
Long enough, you really do see Bloody Mary. You do, I tell you.
Angela, I'm kind of busy right now.
Magnificent! All the great models had big, beautiful curves. They're so much more fun to draw than knobby knees.
Hey!
Hey!
Mr. Anaconda, you've got the most beautiful roses I've ever seen.
It's my own special growth formula, and I don't call it Speedy Grow for nothing.
You shouldn't call it Speedy Grow at all, seeing as your tomatoes aren't growing at all, on account of their dead.
I've had a
Aw.
problem with them all year.
You know,
That is harsh.
we have an unusually dry and hot summer. Your roses here are in partial shade, but the tomatoes just couldn't take the heat. It's not your fault, Mr. Anaconda. But with a rake, a yard of twine, and a tablecloth, I think we could whip up enough shade to yield a bumper crop, just in time for ketchup
Okay.
making season.
And then she designed a water system for watering his garden.
She's actually being useful and nice to the family.
It's
I'm actually kind of liking her this episode.
Everyone loves her.
I wish
I wouldn't go
I
that
had
far.
Gina Lash in my house to distract my family, and then I could ride my bike in the hallway all I wanted, and I'd never get in trouble.
But she's no fun anymore. She's too busy hugging my family to be any fun.
It doesn't sound like she's hogging your family. It sounds like what she's hogging is your family's attention.
Hey,
Attention and
Angela's
food.
jealous that her family likes Gina Lash better than her.
What? Take that back, Johnny, your body.
I think I hear Nona calling me.
I am not jealous. I'm glad that my family loves Gina Lash. Glad, I tell you. Besides, it's only for the weekend, right? 2 more weeks?
Isn't that great, Angela? I guess her mom and Francisco have a little more business to take care of.
Business.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow you can give me a hand weeding the asparagus bed.
I've heard chickens are good for that. They peck around the asparagus.
Yes, chickens are amazing.
Get the added benefit of free-range eggs.
Chickens! Cool! Dad, can we get chickens?
Get the chickens.
And the doctor says if
I
I
love
known
chickens,
that,
Eddie.
I would have taken your other kidney too.
Hey, Angelfish, you haven't touched your dinner. Is there something wrong with it? Not enough tuna, maybe?
Are you kidding? This is the most fabulous tuna noodle casserole I've ever had.
Gina's actually being likable this episode. What the heck?
Too much.
Well, now that Gina's gonna be here for another couple of weeks, we'll have to find something to entertain her with. Any ideas?
But I also get
We
Angela's
can get those
frustration
chickens
too.
and chase them around the yard or something.
Now then you get kicked by the rooster.
Gina Lash?
I do have an idea, but nah, it's too crazy.
Chickens are amazing,
Oh, come on
honestly.
now, just throw it out.
My favorite of the
Well,
farm animals.
Once I read about a family that put on a carnival in their own backyard. Not only did they have a fun-filled day, but they raised hundreds of dollars for a good cause.
A carnival.
With art booths.
And games.
And food.
Oh,
Okay,
Gina,
you're
that's
annoying.
a wonderful idea. What cause should we donate our profits to?
Well, since you brought it up, have you ever heard of Proposition Puppy?
Oh, brother.
Step right up, folks. Dog's hot off the grill.
Well,
But
she
how-
loves you
oh,
as
hey.
much as she can, but you'll always come second to a good frittata. Are you sure? Look again, please.
Aww.
3 shots for a buck. Win a chicken.
Johnny abuse.
Pink.
Gina, what the hell?
Not only have you hugged my entire family, you've hugged my entire street. None of this should have happened, Gina Lash. You're supposed to be my best friend. How about we start this whole visit all over again? Only this time we will
Yeah.
do things my way. Why would you want to be with my family when you can have a pillow fight with me?
Yes, beat her senseless.
Are you chicken? No more empanadas for you. On account of now, you will only
I have wanted.
my
This is the revenge fantasy that should have happened in Snow Mercy when Gina sold her out to Nanette.
hate you on account of
But she's
gardens,
kinda-
they're her favorite.
Half likable, half
Living art.
with a couple
What's
not so
going
great
on
moments here and
You're
there.
not supposed to like this. You're supposed to say, help me, help me.
Why would I say that?
Well, maybe you aren't saying it now, but you will be saying it when Mark and Derek give you a little lesson in aerodynamics.
Dang it, this is the one time they beat the shit out of Gina in an episode where she's actually likable.
But it is.
For the most part.
Face it, Angela. I'm your best friend. You can't stay mad at me no matter how hard you try.
It's called Stockholm
I can
Syndrome.
still stay mad at you, you family hogger who hogs family.
emotions. It's just what you do about it. You're allowed to feel jealous. You're allowed to feel angry.
Well, to be
but
honest,
it's
the only reason I suggested the carnival was to keep them busy, so I could spend
it's just what you
quality
do
time
about
with
it.
you. I don't know if you've noticed, but they haven't given me a moment's peace since I got here.
So, you came in here because you wanted to hang out with me and not them?
Well, that and the cotton candy machine ran out of sugar.
Of course it did.
Bonjour? Bonjour? This is the Nutman War. Who is this?
Nina, dear, this is Mrs. Brinks.
Seymour Butts.
No, I
It's
prefer
Seymour
you didn't
Butts.
call me during my exfoliating time, Mrs. Brinks.
Mrs. Brinks calls her on the phone? What the fuck?
Virginia, the reason I'm calling is to give you a special assignment. I need you to construct a life-size model of the Eiffel Tower out of toothpicks and potted meat.
I have mixed feelings about this one. Honestly, these are the kinds of stories I can never stand. I generally don't like stories where people are fighting over a friend or friendship jealousy. I usually find those stories extremely unpleasant, and yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it here either. But on the other hand, Gina's actually likable for once. She's nice to Angela's family and actually wants to spend time with her. I mean, yeah, it's because she's no longer being fed, but she actually wants to spend time with her. When does that ever happen? She actually was surprisingly likable in this one. Yeah. It was cool to see her interact with Angela's family. That was actually really sweet. I will admit some of the dialogue does feel forced, particularly when they do the politics. You know, it's like, oh, don't talk about politics or religion, and then of course she brings up, oh, we should do something for a cause. Again, not a bad cause, but at the same time, some of that stuff does come across as forced, and I just felt like Angela. It's like, ugh. Again, causes are wonderful, and you need passionate people, but there's a thin line between storytelling from an informed point of view and straight up propaganda. And sometimes it's just a couple lines here and there. It's usually pretty downplayed in this show. And yeah, again, still, I do appreciate the adult jokes. I love the implication that, I do love the implication of the more adult nature of that business trip, but I seriously like Mrs. Lash so much better with Coach Reinhardt. They had much better chemistry. It is cool to see. Again, it's nice to see Angela's family. It is actually nice to see. It's kind of funny because Angela's friends tend to tame Mark and Derek for the most part when it's just one of them. I mean, Mark and Derek straight up abuse them in Camp Anaconda, but here you have Gina taming them, but then you had Gordy taming them in his episode, Saving Private Gordy. Again, one thing that does really, really get on my nerves about these friendship jealousy episodes, because I don't like the concept of best friends forever, because I don't like the idea, oh, I like you more than I like you. It's just this, there's something very hierarchical and unpleasant about it, because friendship is something, you like people for different reasons, and you know, you can, some people you can talk about the deeper things with, some people you can try new things with. And again, she always says it, Gina Lash is my best friend, Gina Lash is my best friend. For the most part, they say a lot of that stuff, but for the most part, they don't really show it. And this episode had some of its moments, but I don't often buy their friendship. I buy it, and again, it's funny, Gina treats Angela terribly, Angela treats Johnny terribly. Again, Gordy is her healthiest relationship. Yeah. And not a fan of friendship jealousy episodes, because for the most part I do find them very unpleasant. And yeah, Angel even says the way they, it's just, oh, I should never have been jealous. Here's the thing, like I said earlier, I don't like that she's saying, oh, this is a bad thing, I should never have felt it. Because what this show does so well with anger is that it makes it a very normal, valid, healthy thing without even talking about it. By the fact that she gets revenge fantasies, and the fact that sometimes her anger actually does help her come to a creative solution. And we've seen that in a few episodes. And considering the revenge fantasies are just a catharsis for her, she takes control, and then she generally stands up for herself, or just waits it out, and things figure themselves out. But here it's, oh, I should never have been jealous, when, again, having negative emotions is not a bad thing in itself. It's how you act on it, what you do about it, that can be the problem. Even something as simple as wanting attention, by itself that's not a bad thing, but what you do about it can be the problem. Then that's usually when the word, attention whore is usually seen as a negative thing, because it's what someone's doing to be the center of attention, or just having to have that all the time without ever taking a break. But wanting attention isn't a bad thing, and Angela has a very relatable feeling, but at the same time, this is an episode where it is a little harder to root for her, but at the same time, she has sympathy. Because it's an understandable one, but at the same time, it is so rare that Gina's likable, and Angela's family's really likable, and plenty of times I can safely say there are plenty of experiences where family will treat the guest better than their own child. Seen that a lot. Actually, you know what would have made this episode stronger? If Angela's family reveals, oh, hey, Gina doesn't get a lot of attention at home, her mom's really busy. There are implications that things aren't always so functional at the Lash house. And Angela's parents probably would have known that. They probably would have a little more insight. And they could explain, hey, Gina doesn't always have somebody around, so we want to make her feel especially welcome. That would have made this a little more interesting, a little stronger, a little more character insight. Had a lot of thoughts on this one. Generally, there are elements I do like in it. Again, Gina being likable. I still can't stand these kinds of stories, because a lot of the times, they are very unpleasant. And it's rare that I see this story done with any significant insight. I sympathize with Angela, because again, this is such a relatable thing. You feeling left out and feeling like, oh, hey, my family is treating my best friend, and she's so much better at this thing than I am. So it's... Baby Lulu's a troll, by the way. Baby Lulu. Kind of funny they actually did something with her. That's really funny. I like the idea. You could actually work with Baby Lulu a little bit that way. I think that could be funny. A subtly sadistic baby. And probably the only time Gina Lash is actually the subject of a revenge fantasy, and it's one where she doesn't deserve it nearly as much. Now, had this been in the episode Snow Mercy, it would have been a well-deserved punishment. Also, cannibalism jokes. There were cannibalism jokes in this. Yes! Yes! Gina Lash is actually a character I do think has potential, and I do want to see her and Angela have a really nice friendship. I do want to see them get along and enjoy each other's company and gain different perspectives from each other. I like yeah, sometimes they portray Gina Lash as the smart one, but at the same time, I don't know. There is something a little Mary Sue-ish about that she's so good at so many things. And again, there are genuinely talented kids, but I don't know, it's at the same time, Gina Lash doesn't often feel like a real character, and I think she really can be. I do think there are really good ideas with her. I think there is potential. I want to see more of the fun. I think one thing that Anaconda could do to make it a little stronger is better balance the fun and the frustration. Because again, there is genuine fun going on with the family, but at the same time the frustration of feeling left out, and I think it could balance that a little more, because while Angela does have a sympathetic motive, it is a little harder to root for her in this episode. So again, I know some people have problems with the show, and I do get it, but again, I know I say this a lot, there is such a strong foundation to this show, and there is so much room for improvement. It's a show that so many people are familiar with, but at the same time, there really is room to expand on it, and there really is room to develop these characters. Also, the corded landline phone, that's hilarious. That has changed. Also, I don't know how would prank calls work now. Maybe you'd have to do *69 or something, but I don't know if that's just a relic of the early 2000s. So you can tell I did not do a ton of prank calls. I know. Missed out on that childhood milestone. Can't talk. I actually want to do more with Gina Lash and her place in the friend group, and I really do think that there can be a fun dynamic with them that's different from Angela's relationship with Johnny, which I also want to see improve too. I also want to do something more with that. I think what could be fun is Angela's three friends would be, I have this idea Angela's three friends would be a positive version of her three major antagonists. You have Johnny could be a positive version of what Mark and Derek are, someone who can be a little rough around the edges, but is ultimately very strong and can egg her on and can have some healthy competition with her. You can have Gina or be a positive to Nanette as somebody who's girly and very feminine, but at the same time does actually come through for her and does have a confidence with what she does and is always going to be on the right side. And Gordy could be a positive version of Mrs. Brinks, somebody who actively challenges Angela to be a better person, and they have a deeper understanding of each other. Since again, in the show, that's from what I've noticed with Angela's friends, while Johnny can be very, very funny and has his moments, Gina a lot less so, but has potential, and Gordy's the one character who actively makes Angela a better person. Be on the lookout in the upcoming weeks. I am going to be doing another Anaconda episode that I've written. So an original idea, not a rewrite of an episode, and something showing you essentially what I would do with Angela Gina. True to the spirit of what it is, but different. I'm excited to share this with you guys. Be on the lookout for that in the upcoming weeks, and I had a lot of thoughts on this one. How can it be so likable and yet so unpleasant at the same time? I don't know. This episode's an enigma, and I didn't expect to have this many thoughts this week.